Hello humans, I am the Black Cat, and today we look at The Collector. The Collector was released in 2009, directed by Marcus Dunstan, written by Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan. The Collector follows Arkin. He's an average Joe working as a handyman. While he's working on a job for a well-to-do family, he meets their younger daughter Hannah. He's drawn to her because she makes him think of his own daughter, who is around the same age. After the job is over, he goes to meet with his daughter and her mother. It's not clear what their relationship is. Are they married, boyfriend and girlfriend? I'm not sure. But she tells him that she owes money to loan sharks and that she needs to pay them back tonight. If she doesn't, no doubt they'll come looking for their pound of flesh, so to speak. Being a handyman, of course, he doesn't have a lot of money, but he knows how to get some. He meets with some associates and reveals his plan to rob the house that he was working on during the day. He knows they were planning to go away on holiday that day, so the house will be empty, and he knows they have valuable gems in their home safe. So he plans to break in, steal the valuables, and get the money to pay off the loan. But when he breaks in, he doesn't realize that somebody else has already broken in. But this guy isn't interested in money, he wants bodies. Upon realizing that the house isn't empty, he attempts to leave, only to discover that he can't get out and the house is rigged with booby traps everywhere. Eventually he finds out that the guy who is in the house is a complete psycho and that the parents are still in the house and being tortured in the basement. He finds them and asks where their daughters are. The father tells him that the oldest daughter went out, but he doesn't know where the youngest one is. Arkin tries to help them escape, but their injuries and hysteria makes it difficult. Eventually, he manages to get out of the house, but as he looks back, he sees the little girl in a window. She's alive and in danger, so he goes back to try and save her. Being the 2000s, the era of torture porn, think Saw and Hostel, also came out in the 2000s, so there's a lot of visually gory tortures. Also, like those movies, it has a lot of deadly traps. But despite this, it's not overly gory. There is a lot of blood, but the deaths aren't over the top with gore. There does seem to be a lot of use of hooks, however. One thing I did like was the Collector's look. For some reason his eyes would kind of glow, and that with the combination of the featureless mask really made for an interesting look. Visually, however, one thing that did bother me, and it's something that bothers me with a lot of these kinds of movies, and that's the fast cuts of action scenes. Like, oh, there's stuff happening, let's cut every frickin' 5 seconds so you don't know what you're looking at. That bothers me every time I see it, no matter what kind of movie it is. I do like the premise of a criminal meeting an even more evil person than themselves. The house robber versus the psycho serial killer. Even though they did try to make Arkin somewhat likable, he was robbing the place, but he had altruistic motives. He was trying to help his family. So that makes the audience sympathize with him, showing the audience that he's not really a bad guy. Yeah, he's robbing these people, but he's doing it for a good cause. Personally, I think that makes it less interesting. I think it would have been cool if the guy was just a robber with no motive but to rob. Then him wanting to save the little girl from the killer would have been more impactful in a way. It would have been like a true hero's journey. The hero is meant to change over the course of the movie, but Arkin didn't. He was already a good guy. There was no growth for him. I know this is a torture porn movie, but that doesn't mean you can't have character growth. Arkin trying to save each family member did become a little repetitive in a way. Like each one he tries to save and they don't listen to him, then he tries to save the next one, they don't listen. It did become a little like, again, really? The true star of the movie was, of course, the killer himself. The Collector. He didn't say a word through the whole movie. He was creepy and violent. However, if you're an animal lover, you may have a hard time with this movie. I was thrilled when I saw a beautiful black cat, then completely traumatized by what they did to him. My poor brethren. I would say they killed just as many animals in the movie as they did people, so if you're planning to watch this movie, just be prepared for that. The Collector was pretty popular at the time, and they were able to make a sequel, called The Collection. I'll probably do a review of that one at some point if I manage to find somewhere to watch it. There's also apparently a third movie due to come out called The Collected, so keep an eye out for that. Overall, I did enjoy it. The kill was interesting and the traps were varied and somewhat unusual. It was a little cookie cutter in some aspects, but in other aspects it was different and original. So all in all, it's a good horror movie to enjoy with snacks, maybe a few drinks, but not with your cats. So would I watch it again? Yes. Yes I would. But anyway, let me know what you think of this movie if you've seen it. If you like this review, please do give it a like, and if you'd like to see more, you can also subscribe. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.